Hey guys, it's the DutchSimsMaster and welcome to part 2 of the rooftop restaurant speed build. So today I'm actually finishing up the speed build which I started with a couple of days ago. If you haven't seen the first part yet, I would simply highly advise you to check out the first part, because obviously I'm just continuing working on this speed build today, and I'm actually also finishing it. But if you haven't seen the first part, in case you really like interior design, I can imagine that you just start with this one and only check out this one. But otherwise, I just simply start or advise you to check out the first one, obviously. And also, I would really like to ask you to check out my Instagram page. I'm nearly at 3,000 subscribers. I believe I still need like 100 more. And if you follow me there, you know more about sort of who I am. You also see it when I don't make videos. Every now and then I upload a couple of photos there. And also once my exams are over, I'll be going on very many trips this summer, and I'll definitely posting very many pictures of that on that social media, Instagram as well. And also previews of speed builds are uploaded there, so it's just pretty cool to check it out. It's at DutchSimsMaster, and the link is also in the description. So that's a little self-advertisement for myself for my Instagram, which should be possible, right? But first of all, I would like to start with saying that I'm very happy to see all your understanding when it comes to the fact that I'm doing exams and that I'm very busy with school and therefore I cannot upload as much. I really like to see that you really do appreciate like the quality content. I saw a couple of comments about that, and that's really what I try to do. I don't upload as much as I want to these last few weeks, months actually, simply because this is literally the busiest school year like ever in like my entire school career. All the Dutch people will know what exams I'm doing, or at least you don't know what I'm doing, but you know that I'm doing the final exams. I'm doing the VWO, these exams. The Dutch people will know it. People in foreign countries will not know it because it's just the Dutch system, which is divided in like a couple of levels, and then also you can choose like what subjects you want to have. So I chose for a profile is what you call it, and then the profile I chose has physics in it, chemistry, like the harder math sort of, and then also biology, and then I'm also learning German. And that is all on like the highest level which is available here, and we've basically got 3 levels, but the lowest level is then divided again into a couple of other levels. I don't exactly know what that works like, but I'm just doing the highest level, which means that you have to be in school for 6 years. Well, those 6 years have now passed and I just have to do the final exams. But I sort of don't want to screw it up. I'll definitely sort of pass them, but I don't want to screw up the marks which I gathered over like the last year. And also, you're never sure that you will pass, so you just have to do your best. And then also for English, I've got IB exams. That might be more well known to people from like outside of the Netherlands as well, but I'm honestly not too sure yet how many people know about that sort of, whether it's like very well known or not. But it's just like the IB exams, and I'm doing those for English. You can do those for any subject, but in the Netherlands, if you do those, which not very many people do, but at my school it was possible to do so, so I did. And then I'm getting like that IB exam as well for English. And I've actually got those exams tomorrow, so I hope I'm gonna be doing well. I had to read a couple of books for it and like analyze like the craziest things out of it, which is pretty interesting. I've got to say that after like 2 years, you still explore like new information or new things in the book, which is pretty cool. Because it's like real literature, so it's like not just your simple book, but it's seriously so much is behind it, and it was pretty cool to figure that out. But I'm not too much of a fan of literature. It's cool, but sometimes I think it just goes too far. But I've got an exam about that tomorrow and the day after, so I hope you've just got to talk your way out of it, just ramble. And there was actually also a speaking exam which I had to do for that IB exam, and there I had to like comment on a passage from a book. So you read the book and then you had to sort of prepare it, but then they just gave you a random page and you had to talk about that page for like 15 minutes. which is sort of strange. Of course, there's a lot to say about it because otherwise I wouldn't choose that passage, but still you've got to talk for a really long time about just one page. But these videos where I also talk about sort of nothing for like 18 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever, just a really long time, that sort of taught me how to do it. Of course, I had to be a little bit more precise and come up with some better English sort of to support it, but still I felt like these videos helped me. But yeah, by the way, yeah, we've really started doing a lot already, and this is actually what you just saw. It was one of my favorite parts. It was the favorite part of the entire building process. I thought it was really cool to just create the entire structure, but this part was just the coolest, where I decided, I'm going to add, the color of the building itself was very dull with black and gray and white, and that's what I did on purpose. But therefore I did really had to add some color, and I intended on doing that using furniture, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. And I thought, adding those poofs every here and there just to add some color, and then also adding those colorful candles and just some other small colorful details will in the end make it look really cool. And honestly, I think it really does, especially at night. Normally, I think it doesn't really look that good at night, or at least I don't really... Well, it does look good at night, don't get me wrong, but often I don't spend too much time on working on the night look of a building. But for this one, you'll notice that I'm constantly in night mode just to make sure that the lighting is right. I actually added those really cool big industrial lightings outside, even though normally you always use those inside. I use them outside, which really created a cool effect, if you ask me. And generally adding all the candles really creates a cool atmosphere. This has got a cool vibe. I can imagine this being in Brooklyn, sort of on quite a tall building looking over Brooklyn and then seeing Manhattan in the distance. That just simply seems like sort of a cool idea. That's what I imagined. And then that's like the place I totally want to hang out with, go there with friends, order some like good food, and then just start with drinks, and then you realize, okay, this place is cool, and then you order more, and then you start eating there, and then in the end you've been there for like 8 hours. And therefore I also added places where you can just chill out, so where you've got sofas, but also places where you can have dinner. And it's all sort of separated, it's very private, because I imagine this to be like a really good restaurant sort of, and then you want privacy. Rich people get there, or at least that's stereotypical, but it is the truth. And then, they want some privacy, maybe they're famous. So that's sort of the idea I had. So that's in the end what I tried to accomplish, and I'm honestly very happy with the way it worked out. And the views are like, if this was real life, this would definitely be like one of the coolest restaurants out there. I mean, it's so industrial but still luxurious, and I just think it's cool. And especially the fireplaces, the one which I'm currently creating, but especially the one on top. I like the one on top so much that I wanted to add another one. Then I realized that I hadn't actually come up with a place to add it while designing it, so I had to just come up with something. This turned out to be pretty cool as well, especially if you're with a bigger group. But the one on top is just the coolest place ever. I mean, having a fireplace on top of a skyscraper, it's totally not safe at all, I guess. Well, you can make it as safe as you want, You've got regular fireplaces as well. But having like an open fire like this, that's just cool, Having a guitar, I literally added some guitars at places with sofas as well, just because I thought it was cool, If a restaurant offers you some cool places to sit, then, offering them a guitar as well. There's often people who can play the guitar, and then it really creates like a very cool atmosphere. So that's what I came up with here. We've got another private area. I really had to resist not to add like a pool, but that would be too illogical, because it is a restaurant / bar. It's turned into a bar as well. I initially thought it would just be a restaurant, but it's sort of a bar as well. But I really thought, it's cool to add a pool, but it's not logical. So that would be something for like a restaurant or a hotel. Rooftop would actually have a pool and a bar, but this is not a hotel. I'd really love to be able to build like an entire hotel of like, I don't know how many stories, but probably that will never be possible, because like the limit is just 4 or 5. I believe currently it's 4. I'm not even sure. I think it's 4. how many does this one have? This one has 3, I believe. But yeah, and also these bars, tables, or these higher seatings with the stools, which you actually see me adding right over here as well. Those came with Dine Out. Was it the Dine Out game pack? I believe the name was Dine Out. It was definitely like the dinner one, which is called Dine Out. And that one was very helpful. Obviously, you cannot even make a restaurant without that pack. But it also came with so many cool items that I just thought, you know, I'm going to add very many of those. Here I'm making the kitchen because, yeah, that sort of made me stumble upon a problem. Because when I started, I didn't actually think about the inside. I just wanted to make a really cool outside. At some point, I even thought, you know, maybe I should just make it a regular house. But then I thought, okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. You know, a restaurant is cool as well, and that's what I planned it to be. And then I realized that I hadn't come up with a good place to create a kitchen, which is not really a good idea if you want to create a cool, or at least a good functioning restaurant, because yeah, normally you've got to sort of plan it out, or at least have an idea where the kitchen should be, because now the waiters will probably have to walk like quite far in order to serve the people. But hey, oh well, at least it looks cool. You know, my buildings are often just looking cool, but they're not very functional. I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to get them more functional, but it doesn't always work. And I also don't always want it. Often I just want it to look cool, and then, you know, you've got to give something up for that. But yeah, here I'm starting with the interior. So yeah, that's sort of a description of what what my thoughts and ideas are with this build. I actually thought about quite a lot, and it was just a lot of fun to create this one. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, I actually planned on making this a let's build, but then I was just working on it, and then I realized, okay, I've literally done half the build already in one night. And I thought, you know, I'm just gonna make this a speed build, because I enjoyed way too much to stop right now, ask for feedback. And also I was too far in the process already to ask for like real feedback in the first episode, so that would just make it sort of a strange let's build. So I promise that I will be back with a let's build sometime soon. I actually asked you what you wanted for a let's build, and that was this, which is also the reason why I'm building it. I asked you for a suggestion for a next build, and then I saw quite a lot of comments about a penthouse, and then also quite a few about like a restaurant. So I thought, you know, I'm gonna combine these, because I'd actually never built a rooftop restaurant yet, and it was a really cool idea if you ask me. And then also my trip to Sofia in Bulgaria inspired me to create this. When I was there, I was like, okay, I should definitely build a place like this in The Sims sometime. So I did this. And in the end, I think it turned out to be pretty cool. So if you've got any suggestions for upcoming builds, let them know, or let me know in the comments down below. Let all your suggestions know. And then, yeah, you might see it back sometime on my channel. I will be back with regular Let's Builds. Even though I know that many of you actually prefer the speed builds, I believe. Let me know what you think. But therefore, I thought, you know, it doesn't really matter that it's a speed build, because people actually prefer these. And then I did have to divide it into two, which people seem to like as well, or at least you don't seem to hate it. I personally don't really like to do it, but, you know, yeah, sometimes you have to, because this video would literally nearly have been 14 minutes or 40 minutes. And first of all, doing a commentary 40 minutes just in one go is impossible, I think. Or at least that you really need a lot of energy for that, and that wouldn't really work out, I guess. And also it's just way too long. People wouldn't watch the entire thing, and then it's just sort of, yeah, it sucks for the effort you put into it. But yeah, about YouTube, like I mentioned, I'm very busy right now. After the exams, I'm actually going to Bali for 2 weeks, which is pretty cool because I've never been there. I'm going with friends, and then afterwards I will have like so much time to work on this. There's nothing I really have to think about when it comes to school, because I finished school. If it's alright, but it's probably alright. And then afterwards I'm gone again, but then like in between the two trips I've got like 6 weeks to focus on this. I'm also planning on opening or creating a website where I offer my SketchUp SketchUp work, sort of, because as you might have heard if you ever watch my SketchUp videos, is that I do some SketchUp projects for people who are like planning on building a house, and then they've bought a lot, for instance, and then they want to have sort of a concept design of what they want to be built on there, and they want to take that to an actual architect, because I'm not an actual architect, I'm just 17 years old and doing this for fun. Then they ask me to create that concept design in SketchUp, and then I do that, and that's sort of like a project and a little job for me. And I thought it would be like more professional and also more effective if I created a website where I would be able to offer this and also showcase like projects I did. Of course, I showcase them on YouTube. Not all the projects which I do for like clients, I actually never uploaded one of those. Often also because I cannot record it, simply because, you know, you've got to work a lot on them just for short. You know, you've got to make like a very small change, which is not really interesting. And then sometimes in the end, I'm personally not even a really big fan of what the result has become, or it's not exactly what I would personally have designed, simply because the people wanted it to be different. And then also, you know, for privacy reasons, I simply don't upload it on YouTube. And it's just, you know, it takes months to work on it. So then in the end, the motivation to create the video and everything is just gone, and you don't even know what you're thinking while creating it anymore, which is like an important part of actually being able to make a voiceover like this one. But I'm planning on actually making that a website also during that summer holiday. But I'm not too sure yet how I'm gonna do it. So if you've got any tips on how to create a website, because I don't know that much about it, then that would be cool. But what I'm most afraid about is the fact that people cannot just find it on Google. You know, if people type SketchUp design or SketchUp concept design or whatever, I would like to show up, and it doesn't have to be at the top. I can imagine that, you know, that's simply not possible at first. But I do wonder, like, at what point you do show up sort of at a prominent place, because otherwise, if you simply don't show up and people just get linked through YouTube, it doesn't really make sense, because they can find the projects on YouTube as well, just the regular speed builds I do. But in case you've got anything to help me with about that, let me know. But here I'm on the top level. I didn't really add too much here, just a bar and just some bar things, which is just, you know, I just filled up the space, because in the end I find, you know, I can't really add any tables and stuff there, and I felt like I had added enough tables already, so I just filled it up with some color by adding the poofs, and then just a cool bar sort of for this upper place, which is the coolest level of the entire building, if you ask me. But anyways, this is the end of the video. If you enjoyed watching it, please leave a like. Don't forget that there is still coming an overview directly after I finish talking, simply. And then also don't forget that you can subscribe to my channel, which would totally be awesome, because then you find out whenever I upload another video. And then thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back later.
You only want to chase the feeling again. Let's be friends. You only need what's best for you and not them. Don't pretend. Now I don't wanna lose sleep, thinking about everything we could be. Let's just see what comes to be. She said, we're all made in Hollywood, fake loving and hating on silver screens, believing everything we come to see. Go outside, it feels so good. We're loving and hating and making scenes. Now we just see everything we believe. We just see everything. We just see everything we believe. We just see everything we believe. We just see everything. We just see everything we believe. We just see everything. You seem so rehearsed, but do you really care? I always feel like We're all made in Hollywood, fake loving and hating on silver screens, believing everything we come to see. Go outside, it feels so good. We're loving and hating and making scenes. Now we just see everything we believe.